Yo, what is poppin' YouTube? Tempo TCG here, back on the Shuffle Squad YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be going over Andrew Hedrick's #1 placing Lost Zone box list from NAIC. Now, this list is a little bit different than what some people might have been predicting was going to do well at the event. However, he did seem to shut down a lot of Gardevoir, and Andrew did play absolutely out of his mind in finals. If you haven't seen the set, make sure you go watch it. He played very, very well. So the basis of this deck is Lost Box. We all know how it works. You use Comfey's Flower Selecting and Colress's Experiment to get cards in your Lost Zone. You can use stuff like Cramorant, which has the Lost Provisions ability. That states if you have 4 more cards in the Lost Zone, ignore all energy in this Pokemon's attack cost. You can use that to attack for free. We can use Sableye's Lost Mine to spread damage. But what's really cool about this deck is the inclusions of not only Iron Thorns EX, but Bloodmoon Ursaluna EX. Now, Bloodmoon Ursaluna does have the ability Seasoned Skill, which does read that Bloodmoon used by this Pokemon costs 1 energy less for each prize card your opponent has taken. Now, if we play a single prize board state, we can make it so our opponent, no matter what, takes 5 prize cards, and we can get that Bloodmoon off absolutely for free. Now, Bloodmoon does do 240 damage, and it means that Ursaluna can't attack. However, Ursaluna is our closer, so that's normally pretty fine for us. Now, we do have Iron Hands EX, which does allow us to take extra prize cards. Now, we do have that Iron Bundle, which does have that Hyper Blower ability, which does allow us to blow away our opponent's active Pokemon, so that maybe we can get that Flutter Mane out of the active spot, so we can get our Flower Selecting abilities back. Now, the last Pokemon in this deck is that Radiant Greninja, who not only has the Concealed Cards ability, which allows us to draw cards, but he also has that Moonlight Shuriken attack, which does 90 damage to 2 Pokemon, and pretty much it just snipes other boards, so if your opponent is not playing Manaphy, you're looking pretty good. So the trainer count for this deck is pretty straightforward, actually. We're running 4 PokéStop, 3 Lost Vacuum, 4 Colress, a Roxanne, a Boss, 4 Gate, 4 Rod, 4 Nest Ball, 3 Buddy Poffin, and a Pal Pad. Now, our A-Spec of choice is still Prime Catcher, which I think is always going to be the correct A-Spec for a Lost Zone deck, as we are trying to switch a lot. In general, I think that this deck is really meant to be super consistent at getting lots of cards in the Lost Zone, getting to that Lost Mine early, getting to that Ampy very much early. In general, it does a really good job. Now, without that Roaring Moon package, we are able to cut those Dark Energies, which does give us space for lots of other consistency cards. That being said, only 8 energy is a little bit short, but clearly it works. So now that we've seen the list, let's jump into some gameplay and let's see how it performs. Alrighty, so our opponent did end up winning the coin flip here. Now, Lost Box is one of those decks we do prefer to go second, just so that we can use that Spit Innocently on our turn 1. We could, if we're lucky, potentially hit that turn 1 Iron Hands. However, it is perfectly fine to go first as well. Our opponent is allowing us to go second here. So here we do get that Iron Thorns start, which seems pretty okay. We don't need to bench Sableye yet, and I think Iron Hands in general is just a fine start overall. Especially because so many decks do revolve around those rule box Pokemon in order to function, right? So I think we're looking pretty good here. Our hand is not great, that's for sure. We can go Nest Ball into Flower Selecting. So hopefully we can just hit something like a Colress's Experiment off of that Flower Selecting. We are playing against Charizard EX, it looks like, with Arcanine EX. So let's see what our opponent can get going. Now, this Iron Thorns does mean that they cannot use Infernal Rain. So that is that's pretty good for us. It's not looking like maybe they're doing too much here. Especially going first, the ability for us to just keep that Iron Thorns in the active spot is pretty good for them. Like, it's pretty good for us. So here it might just be Attach Pass for them, which would mean we can potentially, now I say this very, very sparingly, is that maybe we could go for that turn 1 knockout on Charmander here. But you never really know, because like I said, our hand isn't really the greatest as it sits, but we can try to figure it out here. It's looking like it is just Attach Pass from them. That's fine for us. We do get that second Nest Ball, so that's pretty good here. Let's go in with his Nest Ball. We're probably grabbing a Comfey here. We have 4 Colress in the deck, 4 Gate, 3 Vacuum. We're looking fine. Cards, we do have 3 there. What's our energy count looking like? We prized the psychic energy, so that's not great, but that's fine. And then here we could go Nest Ball beforehand, but I actually don't mind flower selecting beforehand, just because if we flower selecting into an energy and we can Nest Ball into Radiant Greninja, that's probably fine. Here we're gonna go flower selecting. So here's PokéStop Lost Vacuum. I really like PokéStop here. Gonna play that PokéStop, gonna play that Nest Ball. We are gonna grab that other Comfey now. Let's rip this PokéStop here. Not the best PokéStop whatsoever. We definitely don't want to dump that Colress. If we would have gone Switch, we would have gone into the Colress, but that's okay. Here we're gonna go flower selecting, Nest Ball Iron Bundle. The Nest Ball is probably fine. Actually, maybe we're just gonna go ahead and grab this Iron Blower here. We can go here, and then I think we're just gonna go pass. I think that's probably fine. Nest Ball would have allowed us to get another Comfey, but we couldn't have utilized its ability this anyways. And Iron Bundle in general is very strong. So it's probably better in general for us to just keep it. Let's see if our opponent can make anything happen this turn though, because if they can't, I think we're looking pretty okay, even though we haven't had the best start. There's the Morty's Conviction here. That is only going to be drawing them 2 cards. They do have to discard a card from that. So there's the Fire discard. Gets them back up to 6. Oh man, I'm always yawning when recording these videos. I'm not overly sure why, to be honest. There's a Charmeleon coming down. So if we could potentially hit a Cramorant knockout this turn, that's pretty alright. There's that Fire Energy. It's looking like they're gonna hit us with that Combustion. And that 20 damage is not the most relevant at all. Especially because we do have the high Switch Cart count. We can heal that 20 damage. But if, when they do evolve into that Charizard EX, that's okay for us. We're gonna go flower selecting here. Bloodmoon or Nest Ball. Bloodmoon is probably really strong here. I think we're actually going to keep this Bloodmoon over that Nest Ball here. We're going to rip this PokéStop. Hopefully we don't hit another Colress. Those are some okay PokéStops to hit. Let's go Heavy Ball. See what's in there. There is a Comfey in there, so we are going to grab that Comfey. 2 Rods prized is unfortunate. There is a Switch Cart prize and the Psychic Energy, which we didn't know about. I don't really want to waste the Prime Catcher yet, but sometimes it just has to happen, I guess. I'm trying to think. We already have 3 in the loss, so we could get to 4 off this Comfey, but I'm thinking maybe we just pass here. As unfortunate as it is, I think it's probably just our best bet. Our opponent really isn't making too much happening, so it's kind of like I'm not in a rush yet. Like if they were already taking knockouts, maybe I'd push it a little bit more. But in the spot we're in, I'm not too upset. That Jacques is a little bit scary because that does give them access to both Arcanine EX and Charizard EX. Both of which are definitely a little bit scary. Maybe the Prime Catcher into Iron Thorns was the play, so that they couldn't power up that Charizard EX, but we'd probably just get stuck with the Iron Thorns in the active spot. Here that Infernal Rain puts us down a little bit of prize cards. Now Charizard is a tougher matchup for Lost Zone Box. Just we don't really have many ways to be knocking out that Charizard EX super easily, but that Ursaluna EX as a late game attacker is very good. Here comes that Arcanine EX. Now Arcanine EX, it was Scarlet Violet 1. It does have that Bright Flame attack for 250. Then you just start 2 fire. And it has Raging Claws. Now I think Arcanine in general is pretty mid card, right? That Burning Darkness is going to knock us out. I actually have seen a lot of people playing this Arcanine online lately. Maybe that's because I'm fairly low ladder. I have been playing a lot in person as opposed to online lately. Which, isn't too bad, but, ultimately, online is, sometimes pretty poor testing, I can't lie. But here we can go flower selecting. Let's see what we run into here. Rad Ninja or Lightning Energy. I think Rad Ninja has to be the play. We still haven't hit any energies in our hand at all, so that's not great. We are able to get to 6 in the Lost Zone here. If we bench this other Comfey and go Prime Catcher, we can get to 7 in the Lost Zone. Let's go Buddy-Buddy Poffin. There's the Comfey here. We do still have 3 Colress in the deck. We're just not hitting the cards we need to hit at the moment. And that's kind of not great. I think we actually might have to go Prime Catcher into this Arcanine EX so that we can potentially just start seeing a few more cards. So yeah, maybe we are going to have to waste that right now. Bring up another Comfey, Flower Selecting. There's Colress Gate, so that's alright. Let's go Colress here. Cramorant, we want to keep this Colress, we want to keep this Switch Cart. That works out pretty good for us. I do believe that gets us to 7, so that does put us in Mirage Gate range. One more in the Lost Zone would have put us to 10, where we could have started using Lost Mine. I actually don't hate swinging with Cramorant here into this Charizard EX. Maybe we're going to go Bundle. Use Bundle's Hyper Blower ability to bring that Charizard EX up, and then we can use that Switch Cart to switch into this Cramorant and use Spit Innocently here. We don't want to waste our Pal Pad yet, just because we still have that boss, and it might come in handy later in the game. So here we are just going to Spit Innocently for 110 damage, which seems pretty low, but that does mean that we can start swinging with Bloodmoon Ursaluna later, taking a knockout on this Charizard EX. I'm assuming our opponent's just going to swing into us here, which is fine, right? Like, we can't complain too much about it. There's the Arven. So Arven is... I don't know what Arven's going to grab for them here. Maybe it's a basic Pokemon, which probably isn't great because that's just Lost Mine fodder. Ultimately, we just want to not make it so they can one-shot our Iron Thorns EX, because that's just not what we want, right? So if we can play around not taking too many prize cards early in the game, that's pretty good. So there's the Charmander and the Growlithe. We really don't want 2 Charizard EXs, so we are probably going to knock out that bench Charmander with Lost Mine this next turn. Or if we can hit it, we can use that Moonlight Shuriken attack on Radiant Greninja here. We haven't discarded, or we haven't lost on any waters yet, so we're perfectly fine here. Let's go Comfey. The 2 prize turn this turn is very strong for us. Let's just start right off the bat with a Colress Experiment. Let's go. We'll grab... This really isn't great. 3 energy, Gate, and Hands. That's a tough one to come back from. Because Hands is useful. Hands gives us a 2 prize attacker that we can take 2 prizes with. But I guess it just has to be Gate. Here we can go Concealed Cards. We're going to Concealed Cards away this water. And the reason we're doing that is so that when we Super Rod, we can put it back in our deck. So let's go. We're going to go Super Rod these waters back in. We don't need a Selecting. We don't have many cards in our deck. So Super Rod here, getting rid of these, or putting back these 3 energies here. This just enables us to start spreading damage counters with Sableye, attack with Radiant Greninja. Well, let's go there. We'll go Mirage Gate. Let's grab these 2 here. We don't have a target. Like, we have to attach for turn with Radiant Greninja here. So unfortunately, well, we don't, like, we could go Water, Psychic, and then we have to just waste this Gate on 1 energy here and then just attach for turn to Rad Ninja. So it's unfortunate, but it does get us those 2 prizes this turn. And essentially, like, the way that this game is going to boil down is we're going to take 2 prizes with this Radiant Greninja. Then we are going to have to take 1, potentially 2 prizes with this Sableye, whether that's Recycle Cramorant, Spit Innocently again, and then use Sableye to spread the last bit of damage to knock it out. I don't really know. So there's the Radiant Greninja play coming out. Here we can go Moonlight Shuriken. Bloodmoon Ursaluna is going to be very good here. Just because it is able to knock out Charizard EX the way it's sitting right now. Let's discard those energies there. Arcanine EX is kind of a tough Pokemon to get around, but that's okay because it's a little bit beefy. It does a good amount of damage. There's that Hisuian Heavy Ball back, that Psychic Energy back. Let's see what our opponent can make happen. I'm assuming they're just knocking out this Charizard EX here, in which case we are just going to go Lost Mine. And then that Lost Mine we can place... we need 11 on this Charizard, but we also want that Arcanine to be within Bloodmoon Ursaluna range. So I think the line has to be, they take the knockout here on this Rad Ninja. Then maybe we go into Sableye. It's kind of tough though because Iron Thorns is going to be not like if we can just get the boss's orders to knock out Iron Thorns, we're probably in a big pickle here. They're going Super Rod here. Put those 3 back in the deck. Starting Thorns might have hurt us actually. We probably could have just started the Sableye, but I think Thorns is just a better, like if you're playing against Ogerpon, it's better to just have that Thorns down. They do draw up to 8 here, so they aren't bossing up this Thorns this turn. There's the Charmander there. There's the Growlithe there. So they are giving us like another out to start taking knockouts in turns, right? So we could just put 70 on this Charmander and then start linking prized cards, because there's a chance they don't find another Arcanine. We haven't gotten rid of our rescue board yet, so it is still in the deck here. I'm thinking... I'm just trying to think. We do need to take prize cards because we do know there is 2 gates in our prize... Or not 2 gates, 2 rods in our prize cards. So, and we've already used 1, and we need to recycle Iron Bundle and Cramorant, actually. I think here we might just be best to go into Sableye here because that guarantees us a knockout, right? There's that rescue board. That's alright to get. Let's go. We can go rescue board right onto this Comfey here. We might actually need to attach and then retreat. Or we might need to retreat here. Let's go heavy ball. Because we do want to play a Roxanne here. I don't think we have discarded Roxanne. We just check. We have discarded Roxanne. So let's go Pal Pad. We're going to throw Roxanne and Colress back in. Actually, maybe we just go Roxanne back in the deck. We probably don't need many more Colress here. Let's go retreat into this Comfey here. Hopefully we hit this Roxanne off this flower selecting. There's the Roxanne. The other rod, too, is unfortunate for us. So here we're going to attach this Psychic. And then we are probably going to just bench this Bloodmoon. No, I think we're just going to go Roxanne. And we'll bench Bloodmoon next turn. Just... If they get it, they get it. If they don't, they don't. We're going to go Roxanne to 2 here. We do get that switching out, so that is good. Let's go Lost Vacuum away a PokéStop. Get rid of their outs here, because that PokéStop does give them more outs. Let's go. We'll switch into Sableye. And then I do think we're just going to go Lost Mine. We do have to find Super Rod at some point, so I think Lost Mine... We want to put Charizard EX in Cramorant range. We also need to put that Arcanine EX in Ursaluna range. So I think it's got to be 40 here to get that in Ursaluna range. And I think it's potentially just put the rest on Charizard. Right now we've got still 30, 50. We put 40. We've got 80 damage counters left. We could just place... some on this Charmander, take a prize card, and hope it's a rod. I think we have to do that. And then we'll just put 10 on the active. So Charizard now has 210 HP left. This has to be a rod. There's the rod there. That is good. Charizard, hopefully they don't find the boss. If they find the boss, that is really, really bad for us. Just because Arcanine is able to knock out that Bloodmoon Ursaluna. So let's see what our opponent can make happen here. There's the Legacy Energy. That's a crazy card to be playing in this deck. That does mean that we aren't able to take a prize card KOing that Growlithe. They do find the Morty's Conviction there. Discarding that Rare Candy. That's only 3 cards. It does also mean they aren't using a boss's orders this turn, but that Burning Darkness is knocking out our Sableye, so we do lose him next turn. I really wouldn't hate having Sableye again here, just because that would allow us to take another prize card off this Growlithe. 540 damage on that Sableye there is insane. Let's go into Comfey here. I believe we've been through all 4 Nest Balls too. Let me just check. Like 2 there. I do believe there's 2 in the Lost Zone as well. Can't check the Lost Zone for some reason. Yeah, there is 2 in the Lost Zone as well. There's that Bloodmoon Ursaluna. Probably a good card to have. Pokégear is probably better than Lost Vacuum. And then we can go Pokégear for that Colress's Experiment. I'm just trying to think what the actual best play for us to make here is. We probably want to recycle that Sableye, just because that does allow us to take a knockout on that Growlithe. which then both their Pokemon being in that Bloodmoon Ursaluna range, it's just probably better. But let's go Super Rod. We'll grab. Let's grab Sableye, Psychic, and probably just another Psychic, right? Or maybe we grab. Yeah, Sableye, 2 Psychics. That just gives us the most outs, I think. Play that Colress's Experiment. Sableye, there's the Psychic. Here's a Switch Cart, which is probably better than the Mirage Gate. And here we can go Sableye. We can go attach the Psychic Energy. And then here we could go Retreat into this Sableye here. And then we can just go that Lost Mine, take a prize card off this Growlithe. They just shouldn't have prized this. Shouldn't have benched that Growlithe. So that was a misplay on their part. And then we can place these other damage counters in any way we really want. So let's just put them on the active Charizard. Put it to 150 HP. There's our extra prize card. Prizing 2 Rod is definitely sticky for us because it did mean that we kind of had to play around that. And in general, like, we haven't had the best game. Like, we prized, or no, we didn't prize Colress. We didn't draw into Colress for a while. We started that Iron Thorns. Here they have that Ultra Ball. If they do have the Lumineon, we're in trouble here. Because that does give them access to that Boss's Orders play, which does just win them the game, which would be unfortunate. But if we don't see a Lumineon, I think we're probably okay. There's that other Arcanine EX, so they don't have that Lumineon in the deck. There we go. It is being benched there, and then they are going to go that Burning Darkness play. Or they're going to go Retreat into that other Arcanine EX, which wouldn't be great for them. So there we go. They do go there. You can go into Comfey and then just Bloodmoon Ursaluna them for the game. Let's go into the Comfey here. This has pretty much just been Lost Box versus 1 Charizard EX. Which is kind of funny. Let's deck ourselves out. We'll go Flower Selecting. Put that Psychic in our hand. The other one doesn't go to the Lost Zone. Let's play that PokéStop. We can't PokéStop anyways. Let's go Retreat. And swing with that Bloodmoon Ursaluna for 240 damage, taking our last 2 prize cards. Now, this game was probably a little bit closer than it should have been. But like I said, we didn't draw the best at all. And in general, like, we prized pretty poor cards too, but overall, like, the deck functioned well, and you did get to see us utilize that Lost Mine. We did utilize Radiant Greninja, and in general, the deck was really, really solid for us. I think this deck is really good, and I think that if you're looking to progress your gameplay, progress your knowledge and your skill set, Lost Box is a deck that maybe isn't too beginner friendly, but it definitely teaches you how to sequence. It can be very punishing if you don't sequence properly. But if you're looking to progress in the game and get better, I suggest you pick the deck up. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.
Want to support the Shuffle Squad? Be sure to check out all of our sponsors in the description to pick up Pokemon TCG singles, sealed, and PTCG live codes. You made it to the end. Thank you so much for watching this entire video from the Shuffle Squad. Honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, we appreciate each and every person that supports our content, watches what we have going on every single day, every single week, even from time to time, and continuously allows us to have a forum to project our creative content towards the Pokemon TCG community. So if you haven't already, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to the channel, and even leave a comment to help boost the YouTube algorithm. That being said, we'll catch you with our next video. Thanks again. Take it easy.